While most CEOs obsess over quarterly profits, they're hemorrhaging $2 billion every single day through a leadership blind spot that 72% of executives don't even track. The Society for Human Resource Management just revealed that workplace incivility costs U.S. organizations $2 billion daily. And if you're feeling the culture drain in your company, you're not alone. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact 3-strategy framework that Fortune 500 leaders use to plug this massive revenue leak and transform toxic cultures into competitive advantages. Here's the brutal reality. Workers need 31 minutes to recover from each incident of workplace incivility. Multiply that across your team, and you're looking at hours of lost productivity every single day. But here's what makes this crisis urgent. DDI's 2023 Global Leadership Forecast shows 72% of leaders feel used up at the end of each day, a 12% increase since 2020. This isn't just about being nice, it's about business survival in 2025's competitive landscape. I've analyzed how companies like Amazon, Netflix, and Patagonia turned culture challenges into billion-dollar advantages, and the research from Harvard Business Review, McKinsey, and MIT Sloan reveals 3 specific strategies that separate thriving organizations from those bleeding talent and money. If you want Fortune 500 insights like this every week, hit that subscribe button. We dive deep into executive strategies that actually drive results. Strategy 1. Amazon's Disagree and Commit Culture Framework. While most companies avoid conflict, Amazon built a $1.5 trillion valuation by institutionalizing respectful disagreement. Here's how it works in practice. Jeff Bezos discovered that teams avoiding difficult conversations cost Amazon millions in delayed decisions. So, they created a system. Team members must voice their disagreements openly and then commit fully to the decisions once made. The result? Faster innovation cycles and 40% fewer project delays. Here's your implementation roadmap. First, establish dissent protocols in meetings. Literally schedule time for opposition viewpoints. Second, use the phrase, "I disagree but will commit" to model the behavior. Third, measure decision speed. Amazon tracks time from problem identification to execution. Strategy 2. Netflix's Selective Transparency System. Everyone talks about Netflix's culture of candor, but Reed Hastings learned the hard way that unlimited transparency creates chaos. The secret is strategic boundaries. In 2018, Netflix nearly imploded when its radical honesty policy led to personal attacks disguised as feedback. They pivoted to productive transparency, focusing criticism on work outcomes, not personality traits. Quick question. Have you experienced toxic transparency in your workplace? Drop your experience in the comments below. And if this framework is shifting your leadership thinking, smash that like button. The Netflix implementation system. Create feedback zones. Specific contexts where direct input is encouraged versus discouraged. Use their 4A framework. Aim to assist. Actionable feedback. Appreciate feedback received. Accept or discard advice. Most importantly, ban feedback about personality. Only address behaviors and outcomes. Strategy 3. Patagonia's Values over Credentials Hiring Philosophy. While 70% of companies still hire based on resumes, Patagonia's dirtbag over MBA approach created one of the most engaged workforces in America, with 92% employee retention rates. Yvon Chouinard, Patagonia's founder, realized that cultural fit determines success more than technical skills. Their hiring process prioritizes environmental passion and authenticity over traditional qualifications. Business leaders are joining our community for weekly strategies exactly like this. If you want to think and act like a Fortune 500 executive, subscribe and hit the notification bell for insider insights every week. The Patagonia system works like this. Replace 80% of skill-based interview questions with values-based scenarios. Ask, "Tell me about a time you stood up for something you believed in," instead of, "What's your 5-year plan?" Use group interviews to see how candidates interact naturally. Most powerful, have current employees interview for culture fit. They spot authentic alignment instantly. Here's your step-by-step action plan to implement these culture strategies starting this week. Week 1. Implement Amazon's dissent protocols. In your next 3 meetings, literally ask, "Who disagrees with this approach?" and wait for responses. Track how this changes decision quality and team engagement. Week 2. Establish Netflix-style feedback boundaries. Create your team's 4A framework guidelines and ban personality-based feedback. Focus only on actionable, work-related input. Weeks 3 and 4. Pilot Patagonia's values-based approach in your next hiring process or team project assignment. Replace half your skill questions with values scenarios. Here's how to handle the biggest obstacles. If your team resists conflict in meetings, start small. Ask for alternative viewpoints on low-stakes decisions first. For feedback resistance, model the behavior yourself by asking for specific input on your own work. For values hiring pushback, start with internal promotions where you already know the person's character. Before you implement these culture transformation strategies, help other leaders discover these insights. The frameworks we just covered are exactly what separates successful executives from everyone else struggling with workplace culture. Hit like if these Fortune 500 strategies gave you a new perspective on culture building, subscribe for more executive insights that actually work, and share this with any leader who's dealing with culture challenges in their organization. Which strategy will you implement first? Amazon's dissent protocols, Netflix's feedback boundaries, or Patagonia's values-first approach? Drop it in the comments below and join the leaders who are transforming their workplace culture with these weekly insights. If you want to think and lead like the top 1% of executives, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss these insider strategies. This is the C-Suite Playbook, where Fortune 500 strategies meet actionable insights. Your competitive advantage starts here.